Alright folks, get ready for a deep dive into the mysterious world of the male sex drive. We often find ourselves caught in the cobwebs of stereotypes about this intriguing topic. But today, we're here to debunk some of these myths and shine a light on the facts. Let's start with one of the most prevalent stereotypes: the notion that men think about sex every 7 seconds. Now, if that were the case, men would be having around 8,000 sexy thoughts each day. That's more than the number of words an average person speaks in a day. However, a study by Ohio State University suggests otherwise. They found that men, on average, think about sex 19 times a day. And ladies, you're not far behind, clocking in at 10 times a day. Interestingly, the study also revealed that men think about food and sleep even more frequently than they do about sex. So, the next time you see a man lost in thought, he might just be deciding between pizza and burgers. Now let's move on to the quick draw myth. The idea that men reach the finish line within 2 to 7 minutes. Sex researchers Masters and Johnson claimed it's not as simple as it sounds. The excitement and plateau phases can start way before the climax. So gents, don't feel bad if you're not clocking in at 2 minutes and 1 second. It's not a race after all. In the end, it's important to remember that everyone is unique. Our thoughts, desires, and experiences vary widely. And while these studies provide us with averages and general trends, they don't define us as individuals. So, let's continue to challenge stereotypes and embrace the rich complexity of our human nature. So gents, don't feel bad if you're not clocking in at 2 minutes and 1 second. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the male sex drive, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And for a stronger sex drive, click the link in the comments section. And what about the whole men are more open to casual sex theory? Well, it's time to dig into this provocative concept. There's a widely held belief that men are more inclined towards casual encounters, ready to dive headfirst into the sea of non-committal relationships. But is this really an accurate picture? Research does suggest that men, on average, are more likely to agree to casual encounters compared to women. However, it's important to highlight that this isn't a universal rule. It's not a hard-coded feature in the male DNA. Instead, it's a matter of personal preference, societal conditioning, and even the specific situation at hand. In fact, studies have shown that the context and environment play a significant role. When women feel safe and comfortable, the gender difference in openness to casual sex tends to vanish. It's like a magic trick where the rabbit disappears from the hat, leaving you with the revelation that it's not just about gender, but also about the circumstances and individual attitudes. Now, let's shift gears and address another stereotype: the notion that men are less romantic than women. This idea often paints men as unemotional beings, devoid of any desire for romance. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. Romantic excitement, like many other aspects of human behavior, varies widely from person to person. It's not confined to one gender. Everyone has their unique triggers of romantic passion. For some, it might be a candlelit dinner under the stars, while for others, it could be an adrenaline-pumping adventure. So, when it comes to romance, it's not about men versus women. It's about individuals, their preferences, and their unique ways of expressing love. Everyone has their own romantic rhythm, their own love language. And it's this diversity that makes our love lives so interesting and vibrant. So, the next time you hear these stereotypes, remember, men aren't just about casual sex, and they're not devoid of romance. They're individuals with a wide range of desires and emotions. Remember, it's the diversity that makes life interesting. Now here's a tricky one. Gay men have more sex than lesbian couples. The verdict? It's not a one-size-fits-all answer. Sexual activity varies widely, irrespective of sexual orientation. Some couples might spend hours exploring each other's bodies, while others might prefer quick, passionate encounters. The key takeaway is this: there's no normal when it comes to how often couples, regardless of their sexual orientation, are intimate. Now let's take a step inside the mind to explore where the male sex drive actually resides. Picture two major players, the cerebral cortex and the limbic system. The cerebral cortex is the brain's outer layer, responsible for higher thought processes. This is where the planning and thinking happens, including thoughts about sex. If you've ever found yourself daydreaming about that cute barista who makes your morning coffee, you've got your cerebral cortex to thank. Moving on, let's dive into the limbic system. This is the emotional center of the brain, dealing with feelings, motivation, and desire. It's where the raw, primal urges come from. Ever experienced that intense feeling of attraction, that magnetic pull towards someone? That's your limbic system at work. So how do these two brain areas work together? Well, the cerebral cortex might decide that a potential partner is attractive based on various factors like their physical appearance, their smell, or even their sense of humor. Meanwhile, the limbic system stirs up the emotional response and desire, creating that irresistible urge that we commonly refer to as sex drive. It's a fascinating dance between thought and emotion, all happening in the blink of an eye. And it's this complex interplay that makes our sexual experiences so varied and unique. So the next time you feel that spark of attraction, remember that it's not just a simple reaction, it's a symphony of neural activity, a testament to the incredible complexity of the human brain. In conclusion, the science behind the male sex drive is a fascinating journey into the brain's inner workings. From debunking stereotypes to understanding the role of the cerebral cortex and limbic system, it's clear that sex drive is a complex, multifaceted phenomenon. The limbic system deals with emotion, motivation, and desire. And here's a fun fact. Did you know that thinking about it can actually trigger an orgasm? This is not some cheap parlor trick or a hocus-pocus claim. It's scientific fact, and it's all thanks to the immense power of our minds. Let's dive a little deeper into this. Our brain is the hub of all our thoughts, fantasies, and yes, even our sexual desires. It's where the magic happens. It's the control room that sends signals to different parts of our body, igniting a chain of reactions, some of which can lead to extraordinary experiences. Now you might be wondering, how does this all work? Well, imagine your brain as a vast, intricate network buzzing with electrical signals. When you have a sexual thought or fantasy, these signals light up specific parts of your brain, which in turn send messages to your body, causing physical responses. This is why even a simple thought or image can cause arousal. But here's where it gets really interesting. Some people have such a powerful mind-body connection that they can reach the peak of sexual pleasure, yes, an orgasm, just by using their imagination. This phenomenon is known as a thought-induced orgasm, and it's as real as the one experienced through physical stimulation. The key to this is the brain's role in interpreting and responding to erotic stimuli. It's not just about the physical act, it's about what's going on in our heads. Our minds are capable of creating vivid, sensual scenarios that can feel as real as any physical experience. This power of the mind is not just limited to sexual experiences, it extends to our overall well-being too. A healthy mind can lead to a healthy body. It's about harnessing this power, understanding it, and using it to our advantage. And that's something we all can do, regardless of our age, gender, or sexual orientation. So next time you're stuck in traffic, just remember, your mind is your best friend. It holds the power to transport you to a world of pleasure, even in the most mundane moments. It's all about letting your imagination run wild and embracing the power within. Testosterone, the hormone that gets all the credit. Often seen as the star player in the game of manhood, it's celebrated for driving those traits that we typically associate with masculinity. Deep voices, body hair, and the ability to build muscle mass, all these are often attributed to this potent hormone. But there's more to testosterone than just these outward physical traits. Testosterone is also the maestro conducting the symphony of the male sex drive. It's the key that ignites the engine, the spark that sets the wheels in motion. When testosterone levels are high, men often report feeling more desire, more arousal, and a stronger sex drive. But what happens when those levels take a dip? When testosterone levels decrease, men can experience a range of symptoms. From fatigue and mood swings to a decreased ability to concentrate, low testosterone can have far-reaching effects on a man's well-being. And then there's the libido, the desire, the drive. When testosterone levels are low, so too can be the desire for sexual intimacy. A low libido can often be a telltale sign of decreased testosterone levels. But remember, testosterone isn't the be-all and end-all of male sexuality. It's just one piece of a much larger puzzle. There are many factors that contribute to a man's sexual drive, from physical health and mental well-being to the quality of his relationships and his overall lifestyle. So while testosterone certainly plays a crucial role in the male sex drive, it's important to remember that it's not the only player in the game. Each individual is unique, and their sexuality is a complex interplay of many different factors. So the next time you're thinking about the male sex drive, remember to consider the whole picture. The brain, the body, the emotions, the relationships, and yes, the testosterone. Each of these elements plays a part in the intricate dance of desire, but it's not just about muscles. Low testosterone can lead to a low libido.